Dr Feelgood are a British pub rock band formed in 1971. Hailing from Canvey Island, Essex, the group are best known for early singles such as She Does It Right, Rock Set, Back in the Night and Milk and Alcohol. The group's original, distinctively British R&B sound was centred on Wilko Johnson's choppy guitar style. Along with Johnson, the original band lineup included singer Lee Brillo, who sadly died from lymphoma cancer in 1994, and the rhythm section of John B. Sparks, known as Sparko, on bass guitar, and John Martin, known as the Big Figure, on drums. Their most commercially productive years were the early to mid-1970s, but a version of the band, featuring none of the original members, continues to tour and record to this day. The band was formed in Canvey Island in 1971 by Johnson, Brillo and Sparks, who had all been members of existing R&B bands, and soon added drummer John Martin. They took their name from a 1962 record by the American blues pianist and singer Willie Perryman, also known as Piano Red, called Dr Feelgood, which Perryman recorded under the name of Dr Feelgood and the Interns. The term is also a slang term for heroin, or for a doctor who is willing to overprescribe drugs. By late 1973, the band's driving R&B had made them one of the most popular bands on the growing London pub rock circuit, and they recorded their debut album Down by the Jetty for United Artists in 1974. Like many pub rock acts, Dr Feelgood were known primarily for their high-energy live performances, honed through constant touring and regular performances, although their studio albums, like Down by the Jetty and Malpractice in 1975, were also very popular. Their breakthrough 1976 live album, Stupidity, reached #1 in the UK album charts, their only chart topper. But after the 1977 follow-up, Sneaking Suspicion, Johnson left the group because of conflicts with Lee Brillo. He was replaced by John Jippy Mayo. With Mayo, the band was never as popular as with Johnson, but still enjoyed their only top 10 hit single in 1979 with Milk and Alcohol. Johnson never achieved any great success outside the band, apart from a brief spell with Ian Dury and the Blockheads from 1980. Fans always speculated about a return by Johnson that never occurred. Hello again everyone, Happy New Year. I'm joined by the lovely Candice, she's just behind me. Guess where we are today? We're on Canvey Island on the Essex coast. Of course, home of Dr Feelgood, the famous pub rock band from the 70s. I'm a massive fan, and we're outside the Lobster Smack, which is just down there. So I've wanted to sort of have a walk around Canvey for a long time. There's a lot of history here apart from the stuff about Dr Feelgood. Of course, they all came from the island, and yeah, we're going to have a little walk around some of the sites and stuff. You can see all sort of like the oil refineries, of like you've got Shellhaven and stuff like that as well, and of course we're overlooking Kent as well, so like sort of Grain, the Hoo Peninsula, stuff like that. And yeah, this is it's quite a magical place really. Canvey gets a bit of a bad reputation I think, but I actually think it's quite a beautiful landscape, and it feels like we're a million miles away from like the mainland and stuff really. It does feel like another world. So anyway, so we're going to sort of walk along a lot of the seawall and stuff, which is just down here, and you're going to be coming with us. So enough talking, let's get walking. Okay, so we had a little walk down the sea wall and stuff, and then we thought, well, we'll turn around and we're going to head back and sort of check out another little bit of the island. But first we're going to stop and have a cheeky pint in the Lobster Smack. Wouldn't be walking on Canvey without a trip to there, so yeah, we'll do that and then we'll come back to you and we'll check out sort of some stuff further along that way. So yeah, it's off to the pub we go. There was a pub on the site of the Lobster Smack as early as 1600. Rebuilt in the 1700s as the World's End, it was later rumoured to be the sluice house made famous in Dickens' novel Great Expectations. Sluice Farm still stands a few yards along the road. The pub was almost certainly a haunt for smugglers who would wait for the boats and then slip out of the back door directly onto the sea wall. With no coastguards to detain them, they would hurry their booty onto the mainland to the south of Essex townships such as Hadley and Rayleigh. We're both sat outside the Lobster Smack and I've got half a pint of Lily's rhubarb cider. So my mate Rob, that I've been camping with a couple of times, recommended Lily's ciders. And mate, you're completely right, these are amazing. This is the rhubarb one. I'm giving it a 9.5 out of 10. It is unbelievably good. Cheers. Welcome back everyone. So after a really good meal and a couple of ciders in the Lobster Smack down on the seafront here at Canvey, and we're outside the famous Dutch Cottage here. So of course the Dutch were kind of one of the first inhabitants of Canvey, built in 1618 as it says. Sun's just starting to go down now, so lighting could be a bit poor. Really nice sunset though. Canvey Island was drained and embanked by the Dutch engineer Cornelius Vermuyden in the 17th century. Numerous Dutch workers and their families settled here, and they built rather unusual octagonal cottages, of which 2 still survive. One cottage, west along Canvey Road, was built in 1618 and is now run on the Borough Council's behalf by the Benfleet and District Historical Society as the Dutch Cottage Museum. Given to the then Canvey Island Urban District Council in 1952, it was restored, repainted and had its conical roof rethatched ready for opening as a museum in 1962. Further extensive restoration works have been carried out to the cottage. The rooms of the cottage, which include a living room, passage and large and small bedrooms, now contain a variety of exhibits that illustrate the history of Canvey Island, including models of the types of sailing craft which passed the island from Roman times onwards. We're just parked in the car park here down at the seafront on Canvey, and I'll just turn you round. We've got all the amusements. You've got the independent cinema here, £5 a ticket, it's brilliant. Me and Candice went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody here a few weeks ago. Got all the amusement arcades, fantasy lands over there. It's not a brothel, don't worry. It's amusements arcades again. It's just like reminds of like a bygone era of the British seaside holiday when you and the family would go down here, and it's sort of like a dying trade here really on Canvey, but it's kind of history in a weird way as well. I think it's amazing. Apologies if you're watching this video and a lot of it is on selfie mode with my ugly mug. The back camera on the phone is playing up, so that's why I'm having to film a lot like that. We're heading over to the Labworth Cafe, which is right down on the seafront. I think it's an Art Deco building. It's really iconic, and Dr Feelgood took a lot of group photos as well in front of it. You've got the Monaco pub over there, which when we went in there it was a little bit rough, I'm not going to lie, but that's also a very old Art Deco building, and I believe the Feelgood'S played there as well. Really good band. Some people have said the best local band ever because they stuck true to their roots and lived on Canvey really, and they'd go on American tours and stuff and they'd still come back to Canvey, which I think's quite endearing and pretty cool. Of course it sits below sea level, Canvey Island, so there's this massive sea wall built around it because they suffered greatly during the 1953 floods. We're going to have a walk down to the seafront now. We've got a lovely sunset. It is amazing. Oh, what's Candice seen? Wow, hang on, I've got to sort of turn. Look at that. Beautiful. And yeah, the Labworth Cafe's just over there. Tell you what, this is lovely. Canvey Island gets a bit of a bad rep really for not being the most desirable of places to go on holiday or just to visit, but don't know, you just look in the wrong places because we've found some brilliant bits of Canvey. This has been really good. And look at that. That's something else, that. That's banging. Arrived back at the Lobster Smack pub and we've just had another little drink in the upstairs part of the pub this time, which was quite different. It's a really good pub. The food's really good. They do a really good range of ciders and yeah, good service in there. The caters for sort of all needs really, and apparently according to Liam from Beyond the Point TV, he's a native of Canvey Island, he says that apparently it's the oldest building on the island as well, even older than the Dutch Cottage, which is quite cool. Then we had another little look down at like the oil refineries across the water at Shellhaven with all the lights and stuff. It looked quite magic really, it was really nice. I'll definitely be coming back here and trying to do like a little wild camp somewhere along the sea wall or something. That's probably not wise, but I definitely want to try and wild camp on Canvey at some point anyway. But the main thing I really want to do is try and circumnavigate and walk around the entire island via the sea wall and the footpaths. That would be really good. I know Dr Feelgood, the band, the manager Chris Fenwick actually runs a Lee Brillo Memorial Walk every year. So of course Lee Brillo's the late singer of the Feelgood'S, and he takes you around sort of all the famous sites and stuff of the island. And I think usually like the band or the surviving members of the band do like a set at the end and stuff. They can even put you up in like accommodation for dinner and stuff in the Oyster Fleet Hotel on the island. I was reading about it. Apologies about this video with the quality of the footage. As I say, the camera that's on the back of my phone that I'm filming with at the moment is not working very well, so a lot of it's selfie mode. And of course I'm also using my new Handy Hero sports camera as well for some of this footage, so don't know if it's going to come out too well, so don't know yet until I start editing it, so bear with me, apologies for that, but hope you found it interesting of some sort anyway. So until next time, take care of yourselves, look after each other, we'll see you again soon, and Happy New Year. See you later guys, cheers, bye.